How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another FPL video. Today we'll be looking at the best wildcard team ahead of Gameweek 35 as well as my team selection. But to kick it off, let's have a look at the new fixture schedule after Man City has now been confirmed that they will have a double Gameweek 36. Now this amazing, beautiful graphic was created by Lynn FPL in collaboration with Fantasy Football Scout As, which I'm sure you all know if you do have Twitter. So yeah, having a look at the fixture schedule, why I love this graphic is because it shows all the other competitions that the Premier League teams are still involved in, as well as the rest days in between each fixture. So if you have a look at Leicester, which is the team on top right here, they play Spurs in Gameweek 35, and then they have a 3 days rest period before they play their Europa Conference League semi-final. So if we're looking at it this way, this gives us quite a nice indication when teams are very likely to rotate or have their key players get a few reduced minutes. So we can make pretty much an informed decision. For instance, I personally believe that Leicester will rest players this game week. Whether it's Madison or Barnes, or whether they may start and come off quite early, I do expect Spurs to have a field day. I know they have been lacking in form recently, but I do expect Spurs to score a few goals this game week, with Leicester being a little weakened. West Ham. Unlike Leicester have literally nothing to play for currently. I think they're sitting in 10th in the Premier League. West Ham, however, are sitting in 7th, which is the final European spot for the Premier League this season. I think 4th place is a little out of reach, but who is it? Wolves. I think Wolves are just 3 points behind them in 8th, and West Ham have played one more game than Wolves. So this is a bit of a tricky one. They also have a 3 days gap between Arsenal and the Europa League. Will they go a little weakened? I'm not too sure, since they are in 7th in the Premier League. But I do expect them to be slightly weakened, especially with their centre-back pairing being injured. And if you've watched the press conferences earlier or read about it, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, you would have seen that Arteta has said that Saka is back from injury. And he has also confirmed that the man is on penalties. So yeah, if you have Saka or any Arsenal players, I do think that is a nice fixture to target. Man City, well, whether they have a 1 day rest period or a 10 days rest period, there will always be Pep roulette. If you're not going for Edison or Cancelo or maybe a KDB, other options are a bit tricky. I would say Laporte and Foden are the closest to the 3 that I did mention. And anyone else is, Pep roulette. But this week, I do love Sterling. He was rested. And I think if you do own Sterling, or if you have, say, Bruno in your team right now, I would sell Bruno for Sterling and possibly even captain Sterling as a differential captaincy option. They're playing Leeds, and with Leeds being dragged into this relegation battle now, they're going to have to attack, and I can see Man City possibly getting a cricket score in this game, but who knows? In sport, anything can happen, and I'm hoping, as a Liverpool supporter, I'm hoping that Leeds can do something and get a result in this fixture. So yeah, the fixtures are quite decent, as you can see. Gameweek 36 is the biggest double game week of the season, and Gameweek 37 is a double game week for a few teams as well. Leicester, Everton, and Villa, all 3 have a double-double. So if you don't have a free hit available, I would say getting in players from those 3 teams are what you should do. But like I said, with Leicester, if they make it through in the Conference League, they will likely rest more players going forward. So if you want to have your Leicester players, you're going to have to hope that they get knocked out from the Conference League in the semi-final. Villa, I'd say they're good to go. Get your Coutinho, Ramsey, Watkins, Matty Cash. Everton, I know they're in quite poor form, but you could look at Richarlison, Gordon. Yeah, I'd say that's about it. Don't go any more on Everton attack or defense. So with that said, I'm going to do things a little different this time, and we will have a look at the best wildcard team in my opinion before we look at the team selection. So this is the team that I've come up with. I quite like it, and I try to be a bit flexible because I do know that a lot of you are on different chip strategies. So if you have your bench boost available, whether you have your free hit available, maybe you have triple captaincy still, I tried to make a team that was quite flexible and you could go with any strategy. So let's go through them player by player, starting with Edison in goal. For me, I've gone for him because it allows for a Manchester City triple up. As you can see, I've gone for Edison, Cancelo, and Foden. Couldn't quite fit KDB in this team due to cash, obviously. But yeah, Edison is in. I know he is a premium goalkeeper, but at that ownership, 11.8%, is a massive differential, and that will allow you to climb the ranks, whether it's in your mini leagues or overall rank. And out of every Man City player, Edison is very unlikely to be rotated. He's the most nailed Man City player. And with the title race going down to the wire, you know, Man City are definitely going to get a few clean sheets in there. They do have a double Gameweek 36 as well, as I've mentioned earlier in the video. And they have arguably the best fixture run from now until the end of the season. So I see goals, I see clean sheets. I can possibly see Man City winning almost every game from now until the end of the season. In defense, do we even need to talk about Trent right now? At a 39.1% ownership. If you didn't own Trent until now, what is your rank? Please comment below. If you don't have Trent in your team, I'd love to know what your rank is currently. So yeah, Trent is essential in everything Liverpool does, whether it's in defense, whether it's in attack. Trent is involved. I know a lot of you say Trent can't defend, but without Trent in the team, Liverpool won't defend the way that they do. They wouldn't attack the way that they do. And Trent is up there in terms of assists. I think, is he still first? I think Mo Salah actually pipped him in the last game week. I think Mo is one ahead of Trent at the moment. Interesting. I think that will go down to the wire as well. But yeah, great fixes until the end of the season. And with Liverpool in this title race, like I said, with Man City, Liverpool have to win every single game. And I think Liverpool have the most clean sheets this season thus far. So yeah, if you don't have Trent, I don't know what you're doing. I think he has the highest ceiling amongst FPL players. You could argue that Reece James has that crazy ceiling as well, along with Mo Salah. But as you've seen with Reece James, he can come on for a one-pointer. He could play right centre-back instead of right back or right wing-back. Yeah, if you don't have Trent, make sure you get Trent in your team. Next up, we've got Golonzo. Yeah, high attacking, high ceiling player, far more nailed than Reece James at the moment after Reece, you know, came back from injury. He just scored a goal in the last game week, had an assist recently as well. In the last 4 game weeks, that takes him up to a total of 2 goals and 1 assist, double game week 36, and is unlikely to be rotated currently due to no fit direct replacement without Tuchel changing his formation altogether. And he faces an out-of-form relegation battling Everton this game week. They have to attack really, and if they are attacking, I think Alonso could exploit that defense and score yet another goal, possibly get an assist for us as well. And to round up the defense, we're going big at the back, is João Cancelo. He's one of Pep's most favored players and is unlikely to be rotated. I think he didn't feature in just 2 games all season. Please correct me if you know that exact figure. But yeah, title race against Liverpool. And if Man City are to possibly win every game from now until the end of the season, I'd say Cancelo has to play. He can play on the left, on the right, in the middle, up top. The man can do it all. He's a beast. As a player, take FPL out of it. Cancelo is an amazing player for any team. So yeah, he has massive attacking potential, a high ceiling, favorable double Gameweek 36 fixtures, and he faces Leeds. And like I said earlier in this video, they've been dragged into this relegation battle. They're going to have to attack, and I think Cancelo could very much get an attacking return this game week. If we look at his ownership, 40.4%. Jeepers, that's quite high. I don't even have him in my team. I don't know what I'm going to do. But my target for my own team this week, and we will get into that, is Robbo. And hopefully I can bring him into my team. And speaking of the man, there he is. 11.1% ownership. Shockingly, a huge differential. The most informed defender at present. He has 100 points in the last 12 fixtures that he has played, with an average of 8.3 points per game. If you're on a wildcard, the man is absolutely essential. I'd say based on form, he's the most essential player to have in your wildcard team right now. Yeah, if you can find the money for Robbo, just 7.3 mil is 1.1 mil cheaper than Trent. Try and fit him into your team. Heading into the midfield, we've got Coutinho. And for those of you that know me, whether you follow me on Twitter, whether you've watched my earlier videos, you would have known that Coutinho was my favorite player when he was a Liverpool player, all that way back then. But yeah, it's been amazing seeing him back in the Premier League, ripping teams apart like he always does, the little magician. Norwich at home. That is arguably the best fixture for any player in the league currently. Definitely a captaincy option, a differential captaincy option this game week. 2 double game weeks in a row in game weeks 36 and 37. And I'd say, although he does get reduced minutes a lot of the time, I can't see him not starting a game for Villa between now and the end of the season unless he is in fact injured. He has a great home record. Let me have a look at the stats quick. Yeah, 41 points and a 4.11 XGA versus 25 points and 1.39 XGA away from home. So yeah, he's instrumental to the Villa attack, and he has 3 home fixtures coming up. Why not? 3 home fixtures in the next 4, I think it is. Why not go for Coutinho? Yeah, he's another target of mine in my team selection as well, but we will get into that. The king, Mo Salah. Should we even talk about him? Should we? Do you not have him in your team? Please tell me why. Please tell me why you don't have the king in your team. 13.3 mil and is worth every single penny of it. Highest ownership in the game. And you know, we all spoke about how... should I say we? I'm not going to say we because I never ever considered selling Mo. A lot of you considered selling him before that Man United game, talking about how he's in, you know, a massive dry spell. He's out of form. He's not going to come back into form. And then what happened? He had an assist the game before the Man United game. Then 19 points against Man United. He had an assist the last game as well. And if you watch the Champions League, that assist to Mane, just brilliant. Took on a few defenders, just dribbled them, nutmegged a defender, through to Mane, goal. And the goal before that, which was scored by Henderson, well, not scored by Henderson, it was given as an own goal. But had it been a Henderson goal, that would have been yet another assist by Mo Salah. I'd say the big doubt this game week, and a lot of the talk on social media, is that he could get rested. Will he get rested? As we've seen with Liverpool, Klopp is very likely to go strong. Mo Salah, and Klopp has said this time and time again, he is one of the fittest players in world football. Klopp has put that down to him not drinking and staying fit, not partying. The man has only missed, I think I saw it the other day on Twitter, 3 or 5 games altogether since he has joined Liverpool through injury. I think it was 3 games, and one of which was due to COVID. The man is a freak of nature, and if he is to get rested, he is the only player from the attack, the Liverpool attack, that played the entire game in the Champions League, which is why it brings doubt. But I do think that he will start. Sure, we could see Jota on the left, Mane on the right, or in the center, and Diaz on the right. You know what? I don't see it. Just saying it out loud, I can't see that happening. Salah doesn't have a direct replacement. Like, Jota can play on the left, Mane can play on the left, and Diaz can play on the left. But nobody besides Mo can play on the right. I know Sadio has played on the right sometimes. It doesn't work. The strongest Liverpool team will have Liverpool on the right. And Newcastle isn't an easy fixture. They're in quite decent form recently, especially defensively as well. So I can't see Mo starting this game and going off early. I can't see him missing out altogether or not starting. Next up, we've got Saka back from injury against the West Ham team that are missing their centre-back pairing. Is on penalties as confirmed by Arteta at 30.2% ownership. If you are to get any Arsenal player in your team, it has to be Saka. They are fighting for the top 4 as well. They're in pole position at the moment, but it could slip at any moment. And Arsenal are very likely to score more goals. They have a double game week in 36 as well. If you can afford Saka, make sure he is in your team. And next up, we've got Foden. So in trying to get a triple up Man City, I've gone for full Foden. Not as nailed as Cancelo, Edison, or De Bruyne, but I'd say is next in line. Man City have a great Gameweek 35 fixture against Leeds. I can see a ton of goals being scored there. He's predicted to start as well. So that is why on this graphic, I just played around with vice captaincy and it just so happened to land on Foden. So yeah, if you can get Foden, I like it. Why not? I wouldn't go for Jesus. I know he's the most transferred in player ahead of the game week. And if you read my transfer activity article, which you can find in the description below, I wouldn't get Jesus. It was a one-off. He is not nailed. I wouldn't go Jesus. I'm not going to go in too much detail. I did speak about it a lot in the article. I'm just tired of speaking about it, but yeah, do not go for Jesus. For me personally, he is a free hit type of pick. If you expect him to start, then that's when you like free hit him in or go for him as a 1 week punt, not as your main Man City stay in your team. And I wrote the article before the Champions League fixture, and I did say, if we're going off that form and Pep is going to start him again, it would have been the Champions League game, which is exactly what happened. And he scored as well, so the man is in great form. I just can't see myself bringing him into the team at his price bracket to be such a high rotation risk. I would stay away personally. Going up top, man like Pukki. Budget enabler, value pick. The man is in form, 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 7 matches. And he is, without a doubt, the most important player for Norwich. If they are to score, Pukki will be involved. I know Norwich aren't relegated on paper yet. It's very likely, but if there is a tiny chance that they won't be relegated, then Pukki is your man. So yeah, I've gone for my budget enablers up top, and Nketiah comes in. The budget enabling role, he allows for money to be spread into the defense and the midfield. And for me, he is the standout budget enabler going forward. What is his price? 5.5 mil, 2.2% ownership, making him a massive differential. And in the last 3 game weeks, Nketiah started all 3 of Arsenal's fixtures, which included games against Chelsea. If you remember that game, he scored 2 goals in it, and Man United as well. So it's showing us his importance in attack, and Lacazette is now fit as well, and Nketiah still started. So yeah, like I said, for Saka, West Ham are missing their CB pairing. Why not go for Nketiah? So yeah, if we have a look at the bench now, I've gone for Foster, Cash, Dennis and Mount. Foster, just a cheap second goalkeeper, you know, double gaming fixtures. You could look at a bench boost here. You will get a squad of 15 double gaming players, or you could just have a deeper squad. Just depends on what you want to do. Like I said earlier in the video, I tried to make a very flexible wildcard team. Matty Cash, attacking potential, Norwich in Gameweek 35, and 2 double game weeks in 36 and 37. Dennis with the injury to Cucho, and confirmed earlier Cucho is still out. Who has any idea when he will be back? Yeah, Dennis is back in the team, is scoring for them. Good fixtures and a double game week 36 as well. And Mason Mount is in the team because he is slightly more nailed than Kai. Until Chelsea secures this 4th position, I think Mount starts. Chelsea need 2 wins. 2 more wins to guarantee a top 4, as far as I know. Please correct me on that if you do know anything else. So yeah, Mount is in the team. And I know I've used all of the budget on this team right now. I'm not entirely sure what my team value is. I think it's around 104.4 or 0.5 mil. But if you can't stretch to this team, you can make some downgrades here. You could go for Mount to Gordon, or if you don't want to stretch to Cancelo, you could go for Laporte. I would actually keep Cancelo if you can afford him. But yeah, I would possibly go Mount to Gordon, and that will save you a ton of cash on its own. So yeah, you can make other decisions there. I like Gordon as a pick. Budget enabler and Everton have 2 double game weeks in a row. And with them trying to stay up, Gordon will be involved. If you want to fit in a Richarlison instead of maybe Pookie or Dennis, try to do that as well. So yeah, that about rounds up the best wildcard team in my opinion for the game week. I have also written a detailed article on the Gameweek 35 wildcard, which you can find in the description below. I've added a link to all my articles. And now let's have a look at the team selection, which is quite a struggle for me at the moment. But yeah, we'll talk about the team selection, have a look at how the team performed last game week, and take it from there. Damn, I didn't realize I spoke about the wildcard for such a long time, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, comment below. So yeah, a quick review of my team in Gameweek 34. I took a -8, so 75 -8, and I had a slight green arrow, taking me up to 4.7k overall. Very tiny green arrow. I think it was 8% green arrow. But yeah, I went for Havertz over Salah. Worked out. Very small, but worked out nonetheless. My bench is useless as usual. But yeah, 19 points from Golonzo, and it was the correct decision. I made a gut call on it. I had a gut feeling, which I posted on Instagram and Twitter, and I said, I have this feeling that Alonso will outscore Reece James's last game week, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, that was me, and as you can see, I went from 5.1k to 4.7k. Not the biggest green arrow, but any green's a win, as you know. I say it all the time. And the aim to get into the top 1k is still well and truly on. I think I'm about 40 points away from the top 1k, and I'm going to try do it. A few game weeks to go. Why not? I have the free hit in hand. And speaking of the free hit, that is where the trouble comes into in terms of my team selection. So a few issues here. A lot of injuries. So Saka has been confirmed fit, so hopefully he will start. We've got Shaw against Liverpool. Don't love that. Dubravka, we've got Cucho is out injured. Matt Doherty out injured as well. We've got Harvey Barnes, who could get rotated. We've got Mount and Havertz, who could be rotated as well. So yeah, what do you do? Saiz should be safe this game week. I did read that Max Kilman is still out injured, so Saiz should start. I have a bit of a situation now. I have too many rotation risk players and too many injuries in the team. Ideally, I want a wildcard. I wish I had the wildcard. I would be playing the wildcard and bringing in that exact team that we just saw a few moments ago. So in terms of the transfers, I have 0.2 million in the bank, and the player that I do want is Robertson. If I can't stretch to him, then I would go to Cancelo. And I don't mind taking another -8 because I did that the last game week and it worked out. I think at this point in the season, go aggressive. If you have a gut feeling on a player, take that feeling and put it into points. But I think when I tried it earlier, I was 0.1 mil short of bringing in Robertson. So let's have a look. Havertz, slightly more rotation risk than Mount. So if you take out Havertz, bring in Coutinho, who I did say is a differential captaincy option this game week, leaves me with 1.1 mil in the bank. Okay, let's go Chris Wood to Nketiah. Love that move. Think it could pay off. Nketiah in. That leaves me with 2.3 mil in the bank. And if I go Doherty out, well, I can't afford Robertson. 7.3 mil. Let's keep Doherty. Let's remove Saiz. 7.1 mil. So I'm 0.2 short. And I literally cannot see any other move in this team. I think if I am to make one move, it will be Havertz to Coutinho. With Lukaku getting odd minutes every now and then. So yeah, one transfer I would go Havertz to Coutinho. But I absolutely hate my team currently. I wish I had the wild card. And for me, it all comes down to when I use the free hit. Do I want to use the free hit in the big double Gameweek 36? I could. I think I currently have 11 players that double in 36. So I could look at 37, but 37, the fixtures aren't that great. And then we'd be ignoring some brilliant single gaming fixtures as well. You know what? A decent strategy. I was actually speaking to FPL Tips about it. I'm sure you know him. He's like one of the biggest FPL YouTubers out there. And we were actually talking about a Gameweek 38 free hit. And I quite love that idea. Quite often in Gameweek 38, it's a huge scoring game week. Teams that are relegated will likely play all out. And it's the final game of the season for most teams. Maybe except like Liverpool or Man City if they reach the Champions League final. But yeah, it's usually a very high scoring game week with a lot of goals. So taking the free hits in that game week could be the optimum strategy. And it ends off our FPL season on a high as well, hopefully guaranteeing a green arrow. So yeah, in terms of my transfers, I'm not entirely sure what to do. If I don't get in Robbo, on a -8, I could bring in Cancelo. And I'd have the exact money to do this. So with money being the issue, this is the most likely scenario for me. A -8 with Nketiah, Coutinho, and Cancelo coming in. But yeah, if I am to make one transfer, it will be Coutinho for Havertz. I'm still undecided on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is. Because once I do decide when I am playing the free hit, that will determine my transfers for the game week. And yeah, the moment I do know, I will be posting it here on YouTube in the comment section under this video, as well as on the communities tab. So if you are subscribed, if you have your notifications on, that will show up on your YouTube page, on your homepage the second you're on YouTube, or if you have me on Twitter and stuff, it will pop up there. So yeah, that's me for the game week. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Make sure you join the Try Smash FPL Articles mini league. Follow me on my socials where I'm active every single day, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content here. I will be back, so do put your notifications on. Good luck, and remember to FPL responsibly.